Welcome to Manifesting Through Motherhood. I'm your host, Lindsay Williams, a self-development mentor, entrepreneur and author, dedicated to helping busy mums like you manifest success, balance and create passive income on your terms. With years of experience in mindset, manifestation, fitness, parenting and business growth, I share simple yet powerful strategies to help you transform your life without the overwhelm. If you're ready to up-level your mindset, build a thriving business and create the life you truly deserve, you're in the right place. You can also find all my books on Amazon, packed with tools to help you manifest and grow. So don't forget to follow the podcast to be updated on all new episodes. And let's get going. Welcome back, ladies. How is everybody doing? So let's talk about the Christmas Business Spark, planting seeds for your 2026 glow up, as if I'm even saying 2026, because we are all ready for a glow up. And you might not be in business or even have thought about doing a business, but we've all got a business inside us. And I think if you are a busy mom and if you are stuck in a rut, and you might love your job and it's going really well and it really works for you, and that's great if you're in that position. But if you're not, and I know a lot of people that listen to this podcast are fed up and they're just like, I just don't want to be working all these hours. I've got small children. You might be going back to work. How do we do it? And I had this conversation today with my friend, she does my nails, talking about like, I said to her, because her daughter's 3 and she's going through a diagnosis of autism, and we were talking about her old job, and I said, could you imagine doing that old job now with this? And she's got 3 children. And she said, I really get it now, how mums struggle with autistic children because she can't get anything done. I mean, she's there on my appointment, but it doesn't bother me. I have a child. To me, and you worry more than other people, like what other people think. But at the end of the day, if you're going to someone's house having a treatment done and they've got children there, then that's at your peril, isn't it? If you want to rush on being in and out, it's just one of those things. We're all working mums and people bring children to mine. They don't bring loads of children, but a lot of my clients are like my friends, so they bring them to their appointment, and I want them to show that it's possible to run a business from home. So my friend, we were just talking about how life is crazy, and she's so glad she did nails and lashes, and she was able to create this now because, like, I feel like she's done this now ready because it's how obviously she can work around her daughters now. So because it's going to be hard, and she's going to probably feel it a lot more than me because I didn't really know that about my son. And I knew that we were talking about this, like when he was younger, there was things, but then you always compare, don't you? So, but when they're a lot younger and they show signs, especially around autism, there's a big spectrum of autism and how they display, and the communication is probably like the worst thing because, as children get older, they communicate more, and it's easier then, isn't it? If you're trying to run a business or just go to work and you've got this on top of everything else, it's so hard work. But we just talk about like business and how, we can be flexible, and having your own business is great. And even if you're just doing a little side hustle business, because sometimes as mums, like, we don't have anything, we feel like we're not getting anything out of life, or we can feel like we've lost our inner child, we don't know what we want to do. And always good to have like a contingency plan, because we need something for us, like a little bit of backup, something that we can do. And if we can make money, then we all need extra money, don't we, for our children? So I think now's a really good time to start thinking about the glow up for you. What's it going to look like for next year if it's going to be about business? Because I'm having people now asking me about, like, they are actually thinking. I've had 2 people today message me, one about my course and another lady asking me about like booking a one-to-one, and I need to sort a shit out basically. Excuse my French, that's what she said. Lindsay, I need you to sort me out. I need just to more, and I love that the fact that I do motivate people, and I want them to do better. I want them to do things in life, and I want you to have the confidence to be able to do all these things, because you don't have to be a celebrity. You don't have to be this big, main character energy to launch a podcast or do a book. It's just, this is something for you, and I want to help you do this next year. I want to start planting those seeds in your head now, like, what do we need in able to publish a book? Well, we're going to need software like Canva. We're going to need to know how to work around KPD. And that's what my masterclasses and my one-to-ones are about. But we need to do the mindset work with it as well. So you might be all right at tech. You don't have to be super tech, because once I teach you anyway, once you've done one, like there's people that actually bought my course that didn't have anything to do with me and they had a book about 2 or 3 weeks later and they said, I published my book. And I'm like, how did you do that? You didn't ask me anything. They were like, I didn't need to. Everything was there. I just got around it. And I think practice makes perfect. That is my motto. And you've got to go away and struggle and learn, because if you don't, it's super frustrating. I used to be so frustrated because I couldn't just get it. And I did it and did it and did it. And I looked on YouTube and I didn't even use ChatGPT because it suddenly just come out. I mean, I could have used that, and that is a really good tool to help you with the sizes of things. If you get, you are a bit of a tech phobe and you want it to help you, it can take you through the process. So I feel like once somebody's taught you something, you never forget to learn, to drive a car or ride a bike or walk or, brush your hair. Once I teach you how to make a book, then you can make 100 books. Once I teach you how to launch a podcast, you know what you're doing. You're going to do one each week like I do. Now, I think about how I used to overthink it. I think, and I just come in here, do 10 to 15 minutes, do my podcast, edit it, and it's away. But you don't have to have, like I said on the last episode, the jingles and all the the confetti around it. Just be authentic in you. Deliver your podcast and the content that's around your niche of, listeners and clients if it's for your business. Because people just want to hear the authentic you, the real you, what's coming across, because you have to sound the same as you do online. A lot of people don't, and that's the problem, because a lot of people actually big themselves up. I listen to a lot on podcasts, and when you go to the socials, it doesn't reflect. So you've got to be really careful that you are not over, offering too much for people if you can't deliver on what you're going to offer, because then you don't want to let people down. So just stay within your range and what you can offer within whatever you're listening. Even if it's just knowledge, you might not offer a service. At first, I just offered maybe some PTs online, but I offer business and digital marketing. I help you become visible now. All the confidence around it. I can help you do a book. I can help you do so many things. It's untrue, because this is life skills. This is what happens when you get to 43. You learn a lot. I can help you set up a business. It's just like all the things, but things that are going to work around you as a parent. Because it's got to fit in, and you don't have to be a massive CEO of a company. You are your own CEO, and you can run your business however the hell you like, because you are you. No one can tell you what to do. And when the practice makes perfect, is practice so many times, you just become a pro at what you do, and you learn, and you've got to learn. You've got to be rubbish before you get better and better and better. Because if you don't, then you're never going to see that growth. So that's how I learned. I did my books, and then I did just basic books, and then I've written a big book. And the quality of that book to the book looks completely different. And I still sometimes think, oh, they're my books. And it's really funny. Like when you look at a book and think, that's just like that other book in W.H. Smith. And I'm like, yeah, because I've done it myself. All they've had is a publisher, somebody like me, to do it for them. And maybe like a printing service. But when you know how to use KPD, then you can do it yourself, and it doesn't cost you anything then, because once I've taught you, then the rest is like just up to you. All it's going to like cost you is time, really. And then if you're going to order books in, then you're going to just have to spend some money, bring some books in if you're going to go to any stalls, or get people to pre-order books, or just send them an Amazon link, that's what I do. I just have a link when I do promotions, and then people just buy my books, and that's when I check my account. I'm like, oh, I sold a few books today, and that's passive income. So you can start putting this in place now, getting ready, looking at January, so you're not like overwhelmed, and you can start just making some journals and just some small like digital products, just something easy for you. I think once you've done one, you've got the confidence. People start to notice you, and they're like, oh, she's starting to sell things, and it doesn't still have to be related to your life and your business. Just because you're not self-employed doesn't mean that you can't be self-employed as well. So if you are employed, You do have to be self-employed to go through Amazon KPD, but it's super easy. That's what I teach you what to do. And that's the thing that was a barrier to me. And I'm like, oh, how am I going to go through all this red tape? And it wasn't that. Once I'd set it up, it was fine. And then it was like, hit and publish. Once you've done the manuscript and your front and back cover, it's just about uploading it then. So if you do 5 that week, because you've got your templates already done, so you can just change the colours. You can make one book. I have one lady that made a book, and she wanted 5 different colours. I'm like, all you need to do is do the template of it, and in Canva it's super easy because you can just like duplicate them, and then it's just changing the colour, and then you download it into your iCloud and just make sure you save it. This podcast is sponsored by the My Nora app. If you or someone you love is experiencing coercive control, you need to know about the My Nora app. Created by Emma Davey, a survivor and advocate. This powerful app helps you safely collect evidence, protect your well-being, and take back control, discreetly and securely. Download the My Nora app today and start reclaiming your power. Just search My Nora in your app store now. So there's loads of things that we can start thinking about now and getting that confidence. I think that's what it is. We can have so many blocks, but and Christmas can really like push us to our limits, but it's just building confidence through action, and then each tiny step is like your step forward for the future and what you're going to manifest. And this is where we bring all the manifesting in, because if you want to manifest money, and we know the online world is all about selling now, so it's creating some digital products that you can sell. Like I said, if you can just sell something for £10 to £100, you could easily do it, because once you start diving deep into your business, even like just little businesses, like say if you are like a dog walker and you've got this business and you do some promotion on Instagram, you could start doing ebooks. You could actually do some courses on how to set up a business to be a dog walker, all the insurance, all the red tape that you need to do that. I could create a course on how to do that. I could ask ChatGPT to help me to do that. I could create a course, and actually I might do that now. I've thought about it, and I could sell it for £10, because then, people don't know to look on ChatGPT. People don't know to just research online. People want to buy something off somebody to do that. So if you're setting up a business and you say if you wanted to do a dog like walking business and you didn't know how to set it up, well then you've seen somebody selling one for like 10, 20 quid, well you'd buy it, wouldn't you? Because you'd be silly not to, because you'd be like, well, that's going to teach me like my insurance, what I'm going to need to do, and where can I go with the dogs, what happens if something happens to that dog while I'm out, what if the dog gets bit, what about going to owner's house. There's so many little things you can ask ChatGPT to help you with, to figure out the questions, the unknown questions of the questions that might crop up. So as you can see, there's so many different things you can create that might be in your remit or not in your remit. But there's things that you can sell. Even if you just sold 5 for, that week for 10 quid, that's £50, and you've already got the digital product. And you can use like MailChimp if you're not used to using funnels, and add it as a PDF. And that's what I have. I've got 100 digital products. It's like the templates that you can use on social media, and they're in my link tree. If you go and have a look at them, and you can buy them, and you then get access to 100 of mine. So the images that you can change the whole colours and put your pictures on. So that's social media templates for you. So things like that, you could create those over Christmas and sell them to your friends if you know people, especially if you work in social media. Why don't you go around to different businesses or ask businesses, like, what are you struggling with at the minute? If you're good at social media and you feel like you could help another business, think of a product you can create for that business. So as you can see, you could do a cookery book, how to cook. Like, I am not really good at cooking, but if I wanted to cook something and someone said, well, actually, it's £10, there's 5 recipes here and it tells you what to do, I would probably buy it, because I haven't got a clue and I like someone to teach me. And the great thing about doing your own books is you can do QR scanning codes and then people can scan them and you could actually open a video up. So there's so many, honestly, when I do these one-to-ones and people, I can see it in their eyes, their head spinning and they're like, oh, I never thought about doing that. I never thought about doing this. I helped a lady do a yoga book and she was like, well, how can I make this better? And I said, well, why don't you talk about yoga on one side, a picture of the yoga pose and then a QR code and then people scan it and then it opens up the actual video. She went, I didn't know you could do that. I said, of course you can, because you can create you can just create a hyperlink and put it on there. So there was like, oh wow, especially like you can even do it on like your ebooks, the digital Kindle books. Like it's honestly, we can just do so much with what we've got at home at our fingertips. But it's having people like me that's going to teach you how to set up these little fun sidelines. So just, now we've got a couple of weeks left till Christmas and thinking, people are already thinking now, because I think we are always one step ahead, especially with journals and planners. We like to get our planners ready, don't we? We like to see what's coming forward. If it's getting tighter with money and people struggling and, things are going up. So why not think about earning a bit of money or just using your voice and being visible? There's so many different ways you can get, yourself out there at the minute. A podcast is like this. It's educational, it's knowledgeable, it's cathartic. It's, I talk about manifesting, I talk about business, I talk about what I'm qualified in. So I teach it, I talk about it, and I enjoy it as well. As you can tell in my voice, I get passionate about it because that's what I'm passionate of helping a lot of busy mums, especially that are in my position, because we want that financial freedom. We don't want to be trading time for money all the time. A lot of us probably just want to work part-time, but doesn't mean that we can't earn extra money, but doesn't mean we have to work for it, as in go to work, because we don't have the time, because then you have to pay for more childcare. We have to help ask families to pick our children up. What job does 9 till 3? Not many jobs, and you have to finish before 3. There's so many variables that we need to think about. So if you've never thought about doing business and thought, actually, Lindsay, you've given me so many ideas, then there's so many different ways that you can work with me, and the courses and the one-to-ones. Or just send me a message if you're not sure on what's the next steps. Then that's all I start with people, with a one-to-one. Let's do a clarity call. What do you need? Let's start to manifest your next steps, and lots of different things will crop up. There might be your weight and your fitness holding you back in business. It might be money. It might be children. We've all got barriers to our lives and that stop us. And mine's probably time. A lot of mine is, and my son, I've got to give him the time that he needs. I'm obviously thinking about everybody before me, like my husband and my child and my business and my house. I've got Christmas to think about, but because I started early, I've got time to start planning for my business for next year. And I really get excited for it, because I think, right, what books am I launching next year? I've just enjoyed the fruits of my labour, as they call it, this year. I've just been enjoying it. I've not just been. I published my book and then I lost my nan, and then I thought, you know what? It's about losing weight this year and healing next year, so we can have a year where we just enjoy. I just wanted to enjoy my business, enjoy spending some. My husband's been on these shifts, and he only works 2 days a week at the minute, and he will change back on the others. But I've been having a lovely meal with my husband, sitting there. And yes, I want to get my laptop out. Yes, I want to get my pen and paper out. But I'm like, you know what? That will wait. I can do things. I've done a lot this year. I've done a lot the year before. I helped so many people. And it goes to show that people are still coming out to me, asking for help now. And they're still thinking about me. And people are still tagging me and promoting me and doing referrals. And that's the great thing, because people know that I help you launch podcasts. I help you write a book now. I help you become more visible in what you want to do. So even just the confidence around doing the podcast, talking, public speaking, I do all that now. I can teach you how to project yourself a little bit more strategically as well, with a little bit more clarity, without the and the ums. We don't need that. We need to be comfortable with the breaks in our breath. And that was something that I struggle with, because I'm a very fast talker and I like a two-way conversation. So this, for me, talking on a podcast is strange, because I'm talking to you now, like recording this as everybody's listening, but actually nobody's listening at the minute, but you will listen to this. So, and I have my my cohort of listeners all over the world, that you guys listen to the podcast and you come back to listen, which is amazing. I'm super grateful for, and I just want to continue to help you next year. And if there's anything that you want me to cover next year and anything that you're struggling with, business and life and relationships, and if you need any more support, or is anyone that, any guests that I can get on the podcast, then I'm happy to do that. And I'm here to serve and, to support you guys as being in the same boat as you. So anyway, I want you to have a little bit of homework. I want you to, over December, just choose one idea that you want to explore, get a journal and just start thinking and start visualizing. And I want you to give yourself a 10-minute CEO moment each day to brainstorm, visualize and create a dream. We don't have a lot of time, but just, even if it's in the morning with a coffee, just think, where do I want to be next year? What do I want to do? If you was on a stage, what would you want to talk about? If you wanted a book, what would it be called? Where would it be? It's the little things. We just need a little bit of, this is going to really amplify our manifesting, because then we're going to be like, once we start to dream and believe what we want to do, that's how the manifesting magic starts coming in. We start to get excited. We start raising our vibrations. We get confidence to take the next step. And that's what it is. That's what I started doing, getting familiar with Canva, researching Amazon. How am I going to publish a book? Where do I start? And I still remember that day when I'm like, I need to start writing this book. I had no clue, no training. I mean, last time I went to school I left school in 1998 when I did English. Yes, I've done lots and lots of different qualifications over the years, but writing a book is so different. And if I wrote that book again, I would probably do it completely different. But it's my first baby, it's my first book, and there's probably a lot of manifesting books out there. But I wrote this just off my own head. It just flowed off my tongue, which was easy. But now I've learned a lot more about manifesting. But that's growth, isn't it? We learn as we go on. So choose your January first step. So even if it's just recording something or getting some, just having a practice, you can get some software on your phone. Start recording, or start looking at doing voice notes and sending messages. Start listening to your voice and what it sounds like. Don't be afraid of you and who you are. Do some designs. If you're quite good at art, draw some front covers. What can we do? It's just learning something for you. It's a skill. You're upskilling all the time. I'm always learning something new. So just remember, December is about just letting go a bit, thinking about having a bit more clarity. Don't pressurise yourself. When you drop the guard a little bit, sometimes the energy flows. That creativity starts to spill in, and that comes with exercise sometimes. When we exercise, when I get on my treadmill, I start to think about all sorts. And sometimes when I'm in the supermarket, I get business ideas, and I'm like that with my phone writing things down, because you're in smells and sounds and people. Listen to conversations and listen to the world. Start being observant and what's going on, and that's how you start to just upgrade yourself, and you get the downloads because your mind's ready for it. We need to really improve our cognitive function as we get older. So learning a new skill is incredible for us. Being mentally active builds cognitive reserve. This means your brain becomes more resilient, so it can cope better with aging or stress, and lifelong learning helps build that reserve. And delay cognitive decline and dementia risk. Engaging in mentally stimulating activities, learning, reading, hobbies, new skills has been linked to slower decline in brain function over time, and it boosts memory, attention, problem solving, mental flexibility. Things like learning a language and practicing a new hobby or tackling a challenge, it's all supported by sharpening the memory and just focusing our brains a little bit better. Because it's just like learning fitness skills like boxing, and we can learn anything. At any time we can go and start boxing. We can learn to do a squat. We can learn to do a sit-up. We can learn to start art and drawing. There's so many things that we can do. Why aren't we doing it? Because our brains go to mush. And if you're perimenopausal or menopausal, you know how that is, because our brains just get completely taken over because we're not learning new things. Because if you think about it, when we're young, like at school and then college, we're learning. We're going to a new job, we're learning the new job. But as we've been at the job for a long time, we're not really learning. It's repetition, like a car. We learn to drive a car. After it, do we actually think about putting, the clutch and all that ABC? We don't, because we just do it now. So do you ever drive somewhere and think, I don't remember getting here? I do it on a school run in the morning. I don't even think about it. I'm at school because it's just repetition. But if I was to learn to drive a motorbike, I haven't got a clue. I could learn it. I probably wouldn't do it, but that would be a new skill, and my brain would have to fire up new brain waves, new neural pathways. So we can do this in business. Just learn something for you next year. Let's make a pledge to ourselves. What are we going to do next year? Don't have to be business. It can be fitness. It could be something like that. But let's just do something for us. Let's achieve something next year. We don't need to tell anybody. It's all a little secret. And you can wait with me and just listen to this podcast and just send me some voice notes or some private messages. Just keep me updated. Tell me what you're doing. And yeah, let's just achieve something like 3 months into the new year. Let's just do something. What I wanted to do is more languages. And I think next year I'm going to look at languages because I think that's really good to learn. More like to be bilingual. I did learn Spanish, but I'm very rusted at it now. I do British Sign Language, but that's more with my hands because my family's deaf. So, and that's gone sloppy. So I need to improve on that because I don't really any sign to my family. But I watch people, like when you watch signing on TV, you can understand most of that. So learn British Sign Language, something like that. And you can just go on YouTube. And I just love it. I watch a lot of languages on YouTube. So there's different languages that I would love to learn. And I'm a very northern person, so I think I would struggle with the accent. But it doesn't have to be perfect. Like I said, practice makes perfect. And that's where I'm going to leave it with you today. So anyway, have a great day, whatever you're doing. My son's 15 this weekend. I cannot believe it. I was found an old video of him. And I was looking at him when he was younger, and I'm like, in like the difficulties that he had and how what he's going to... I said to him, I wonder what he's like 15, is he going to be able to do this? Is he going to be able to do that? And he can't do a lot of what other children do, but, I am proud of him for where he's got to, and yeah, we've still got Elf on the Shelf, so we're doing that every day, but, I don't care, he loves it, he still believes, it's still magical, and I think that's what it is about. You've just got to not worry about what other people are doing in life. Just get on with your life, just do what you need to do, you do you, stay in your lane, and just be your own family. And you've just got to make what the best out of what you have. And that's what I've learned. I think that's my takeaway for the end of the year. Just I've observed a lot and reflected a lot on a lot of things this year, and it's going to take me into next year. And I've got all this knowledge and all this fire in my belly ready for next year. We've only got a couple of weeks, haven't we, till the new year? So anyway, I thought I'll just do a quick podcast today. But anyway, nearly at 30 minutes. There we go. See, that just goes to show you can just talk without a breath. And I wrote my notes, but I don't always need the notes because I know what I'm going to talk about. And I think it's more natural when you just talk. And you can pause it a minute. I think I paused it once, had a quick mouthful of my cup of tea. Because I was talking that much, like my mouth's gone really dry. So I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you're up to. Don't forget to share the podcast. And if you've not bought my book, it's in my link tree, Manifesting Through Motherhood. And there's lots of planners and other resources in there, like digital products. Everything's there. And if you're struggling with any links are not working, please send me a message and I will speak to you all soon. Bye for now. If you're feeling called to go deeper, to align more, create more, and really step into that next version of you, you'll find everything you need in my link tree. From my book, Manifesting Through Motherhood, to powerful resources and ways we can work together, it's all there waiting for you. Come and find me on Instagram or Facebook. I love hearing what landed with you. Don't forget to follow the podcast, and if this episode spoke to you, please share it with someone who is on their own journey too. And happy manifesting.